Yo, what's up? Domo. Start. So the plan for today is catch up with Windblume day 2 and Madame Faruzan hang out. Maybe later I'll do like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll catch up with like some more quests or something. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that's a good showcase to be fair. Damn. Yeah, okay. I'll take it back. Mobile play is OP. I try on PC and PS4 with controller, doesn't work. You need mobile. I know the solution, at least for me. I know how I can make it work. If they want to change some stuff. Basically, the layout is like flatline, right? I prefer if they copy the controller layout and then just put the whatever, put the marker like controller. I think that will help people, but even for PC. But whatever. Before we start the story first, let's change my team. It's not for tomorrow, right? It's Monday, so yeah. Okay. Oh dear. Only. Who do we have? Kole Kaya? No Kaya. Kole Lisa. Circus. Ember.
I'll ensure your safety.
That's better. So before I start, I need to condense my resin for tomorrow. Hey, Shiliu. Shiliu. What's the name of that Blackbeard pirate? Please don't trigger, please don't trigger. Or One Piece. Something Leo Rain or something, I forgot the name. Yeah, the rest is for tomorrow. Oh, they don't trigger it automatically. Nice. It's not consistent, to be honest, the way it works. Yeah, I mean, we start the patch at, what, Wednesday, so no wonder. Okay.
Sucrose, we're here! Oh, Traveler, Paimon. I only just arrived myself, so I'm still getting ready. Ah, and Kale just passed by a moment ago. She said she had some things to sort out at the inn where she's staying, but she'll meet up with us when she's done. Apparently, Tainari and Sino both went out, but she stayed behind because she wanted to help us. Not too bad. After reviewing it again with fresh eyes, I came up with a new theory which seems to hold some water. I'll attempt to explain it as simply as I can. I believe that each of the 4 things in the prophecy refers to a different field of knowledge. So, in a way, the prophecy is a test of the reader's intelligence. But it's unlikely for any one person to have expertise in all these different areas. So I suggest that we seek out one expert from each and get their opinion. Also, in 2 out of the 4 areas, the prophecy seems to want us to find specific people. It may even turn out that the people themselves are the answers.
So it sounds like we should put our heads together and list out the people who can help us.
Exactly. I think we can go through each riddle in turn and generate 4 groups of names to match the 4 questions.
Alright, then let's start from group 1. The first riddle was, a flower that is not of this world.
Lisa, Sumeru Rose, maybe? Lisa wears Sumeru Rose, number 1. Sumeru Rose is not from Mondstadt.
Personally, I would still go with Albedo for this one. Alchemy is the most likely to have to do with otherworldly things, and he is by far the leading expert in this regard.
Oh shit. Yeah, Albedo's better.
Exactly! You're the creator of the Tetratanic sweet flower. Who knows? Maybe that's the flower we're looking for.
Huh? You really think so?
Oh, but what about Tainari? He's a forest watcher and knows all about plants. If it's a flower we're looking for, maybe he's the man for the job.
Alright, I'll add him to the list as well. On to group 2. This subject is a guide who will never get lost.
Paimon?
That's kind of abstract. Does it just mean someone who never loses their way?
Catherine?
Wait, but they have to be able to guide others too. So it's not quite as simple as that.
Oh shit, wrong again. Mona then.
Oh, you mean Mona? Yeah, she definitely counts.
Mona. Yes, she certainly seems very confident. And she can use her astrology to guide people.
Would Bennett count? Well, his luck's so bad that as long as you go in the opposite direction from him, you'll always be going the right way, right?
I see. I suppose I can't argue with that logic.
Add him to the list. Finding everyone won't take long, so one extra person won't hurt.
I know. Would Outrider Amber be a valid candidate for this category as well?
Yeah, she would! She's got a great sense of direction after all. As a matter of fact, when the Traveler and Paimon first came to Mondstadt, she was actually the one who gave us direction.
Yes, she's certainly a good guide.
Is there anyone else?
Let me think. Yes, I believe there may be one more. Albedo once made a set of equipment for Mika from the reconnaissance company. He's their surveyor, and an exceptional pathfinder. He's even instructed others in the discipline of surveying before. So, in my view, he's highly unlikely to lose his way, and would be very good at helping others find theirs.
Cool! Another one for our list!
Wait, Kale should have been here by now. Wonder what's taking her so long. Sorry, could we continue our chat somewhere else?
Oh, you wanna go see how she's doing, right? Sure, let's all go.
Sorry, finishing my chocolate. Where's Cole? Knights of Avonius HQ or Adventurers Guild? It's been a while since I used Sucrose.
Hi, Kale. Hope we're not intruding or anything. Is everything okay?
Sucrose! I was preparing some stuff. Is it time already? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. The Traveler and I only just met up. We were just worried that you might get lost along the way, so we thought that we'd come get you.
Thank you. I'm ready to join you now. going.
So let's pick up where we left off.
Next up is the third line. One who would never lie. Anyone spring to mind? You really think so? Seems like it would be pretty difficult for someone in his position to avoid having to lie.
Then what about Kaya? He's the cavalry captain and a rather popular figure, but...
I mean, he lies a lot, so Kaya is also disqualified.
You think there's something fishy about him too, huh? Yeah, he's definitely a sneaky one. Bet he lies all the time.
I can't help but agree with you there.
There's the tone-deaf bard. But on second thought, he wouldn't qualify either. He talks way too much nonsense. Is there anyone else we're missing?
Lisa lies, Kaya lies, Amber. Who else? Eula, maybe. Yeah, Eula's straightforward, right?
Acting Grandmaster Jean? She has a good name in that regard, but from what I know, she sometimes covers up the truth out of concern for those around her. For example, when Lisa loses track of time in the library and misses her patrol shift, Jean will come up with some excuse, like Lisa's ill today. Also, she sometimes makes up stories to get Klee to behave, like the one about the big monster that comes to catch naughty kids who don't go to bed on time. Do you think that rules her out?
White lies are still lies, but do we really have to reject her because of some harmless fibs? It's not like she had evil intentions. No, we're the ones being strict.
Rosaria doesn't strike me as the type of person to lie. Oh, Kale, you probably haven't met her yet, have you? She's a sister from the church who looks, a little scary and not very sociable. She stopped by the alchemy bench once, a long time ago, and asked me about Albedo. I thought maybe she was trying to find him, for work or something. But when I asked, she just said that she was curious about him because he was so intelligent, and wanted to talk to his assistant to find out what he was like. A lot of people might have given a more tactful justification, but I could see in her face that she wasn't trying to hide anything. She was just very direct and straightforward.
Barbara? How about Barbara? Barbara cannot lie, that's against the church, right?
That's why I don't think of her as the lying type.
Rosaria doesn't look like the sort of person you'd want to get into a fight with. Maybe she just fights her way out of situations that some people might lie to get out of.
I can definitely see that. I've also heard the other sisters say that Rosaria doesn't even make excuses when she skips choir. She just doesn't show up.
She's a tough cookie, huh? Let's put her name down.
In that case, I think Sino fits in this list too.
True. Lying's probably more trouble than it's worth for someone like him. Kinda like with Rosaria. Oh, and Paimon also nominates Razor. Bet he couldn't lie to save his life.
I've also got someone else in mind. Noelle, the trainee knight. She's a very honest person. I don't think she'd tell a lie.
Yeah, Sucrose met Noelle from Final List of Us, right?
Alrighty, write her name down too.
Wait, there's one more person. You know, our long-standing staffer at the alchemy bench.
Timaeus?
Huh? You mean Timaeus?
Whenever I heard the name Timaeus, first thing first in my head, that Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yes, him. Truth be told, he's been love-struck recently. He swore that he wouldn't say a dishonest word or slack off until he succeeds in getting the woman he loves.
Ying-er? Is it?
Timaeus has a crush?
Yes, that's right.
Well, who is it? Do you know her?
I've never met her. All I know is that she's from Liyue. Timaeus says that she's fun, has a great personality, and is very, very good looking. Since we're on the topic, helping Timaeus win the lady of his dreams was also one of my goals for this Windblume festival.
But how can we help with that?
I don't know. Make sure he uses nice paper and a fancy envelope when he sends letters to her. Help him pick a nice gift and wrap it properly. That sort of thing.
Yeah. I had the same situation once in the Avidia Forest. I helped another forest ranger out by delivering a love letter to the coworker she likes.
Yep, that sort of thing exactly. Oh, also, I helped him with some of the groundwork for one of his research projects. He must have appreciated it, because he gave me a refrigeration device that he's been developing as a thank you gift.
Is it any good?
I mean, it looks nice.
Sounds like a no.
Alright, guess we'll put Loverboy down on the list then.
Okay, so last of all, we have a legend that never ends. Anyone come to mind for this particular line?
Lisa, perhaps? A librarian understands books best, and aren't most legends written down somewhere?
When I think about legends, fairy tales and picture books come to mind.
Maybe Kale. She read a lot of fairy tales when Tainari was teaching her to read.
Oh, do I count?
Of course you do. I'll put you on the list. I prefer to read things like an illustrated analysis of alchemical substances and their uses, the fascinating principles of crafting, and hypotheses of life.
Point taken. Paimon didn't quite understand any of those.
Klee might be a good choice. Her mother, Alice, is a renowned traveling author, so I'll bet she's been exposed to all sorts of myths and legends.
Alright then, Klee makes the short list.
Well, that should just about do it. Next up, we should go and ask the people on the list about the prophecy.
Do we have to ask absolutely everyone on the list? It seems like a lot of people.
It is. So, I was thinking that perhaps we should split up. That might make our search more effective.
Okie dokie.
Also, I've thought of a method of gathering feedback.
No problem. We can do that.
You and the Traveler are practically joined at the hip, so you two can go together. I'll pair up with Kale.
Capable Kale and sensible Sucrose. Sounds like a winning combination.
Okay, I promise I'll help. Capable Kale. Yeah, I got this.
Rest assured that the unbeatable Traveler and Paimon will do our part too. Off we go.
Let's track NPC, I guess.
I plan on starting from the person with the most defined stronghold. So let's go to the library. Lisa should be there.
Stronghold. That's an, interesting word to use.
Maybe den? No, that's even worse.
How about layer?
Animo test 6308. Absorption test.
You know, I really hope they do another cat still. You know, where they basically inside improve the inside. Of the HQ.
Here we are. Lisa's lair.
Oh no. That was a bad word choice. And now Sucrose is using it. It's all my fault.
Lisa, might I ask if... Huh?
Sucrose. Kale. What are you doing here?
I can only sucrose that they were Kale-ing on someone. At least that's as far as I know.
God damn it.
Oh, please, just stop it with these puns. I beg you. Are you trying to win worldwide fame for unfunny jokes?
Is Lisa not here at the moment?
Surprising, isn't it? She went out. I'm afraid it's just us here looking for information.
Except me. I'm not here for information. Like you, I came here for an abortive search for the librarian, who is also my academia senior.
Oh, so you studied in the same darshan as Lisa?
That's right. Her mentor in Sumeru was also my benefactor. We were both Spontamod students.
Wow, that's cool. But wait, we're getting sidetracked. We came here to look for some information. Kale and I are investigating a prophecy, and we were hoping you all might be able to help.
Oh? What sort of prophecy?
I see. You want to ask them about the flower that is not of this world, and me about the one who would never lie.
But there's no rush. You don't need to answer right away. We're just here to tell you about the situation. You can take your time to think it over and submit any thoughts you have in written form to the Sucrose mailbox.
The Sucrose mailbox?
Yep. I was thinking about it on the way. And although they seem like trick questions, there's a lot to mull over once you get down to the details. A quick answer off the top of your head might not go into enough depth. So, I decided to place a mailbox next to the alchemy crafting table. Everyone can submit their written answers there when they're ready. We don't have to call it the Sucrose mailbox, though. It could just as well be called the Sucrose and Kale mailbox. Or even the Sucrose, Kale, Traveler, and Paimon mailbox.
I think in this case, we can just go with your quick answer off the top of your head.
Sounds like a good solution. Certainly more reliable than verbal discussion alone.
Agreed. Certainly when it comes to discerning whether someone is a liar or not, you cannot simply take them at their word.
Understood. Once we've had a look into it, we'll place our replies into your mailbox.
Thank you all so much. Okay, let's tick them off the list and carry on working our way down.
Already done.
I'm pleasantly surprised to see those two introverts getting along so well.
Do you get the feeling that Kale's return to Mondstadt has emboldened her more contrarian side?
Yes, I'd noticed that too.
Traveling and meeting old friends are both good for the body and soul. And isn't rediscovering one's youth while revisiting old haunts a worthwhile pursuit?
When I first met Kale, she'd never known happiness or youth, but things are different now. Her Elazar being cured was a huge milestone in her life.
Kale is a very sensitive and introverted child. I'm sure you must have noticed that too, Albedo. From the time she's been in my care, I've observed that she's actually a very lively character by nature. But she had a very rough start in life, and it changed her.
So, might I assume that your respective claims of looking for plants and artists in Mondstadt were just pretexts?
I wouldn't say that. Both Kale and Genius Invocation TCG are very important to me.
Would it really kill you to just say yes in this situation?
Fine. Yes. We came out of concern for Kale. She's been back to Mondstadt of her own accord several times, but it has led to no significant improvement in her mood.
Well, it won't hurt to give her some more time. I believe that Sucrose might be able to help her.
Sounds like an extension of your own self-confidence as her teacher.
You could say that. In a similar vein, I've heard that Sumeru scholars often build their social relationships based on their academic ones. Is that true?
I suppose it might look like that from your perspective. Sumeru society is something of a special case. The reason it is known as the City of Learning is because all of its resources are in some way linked to academia. As such, academic resources equate to social capital. It is not unheard of, for example, for people to build a family in order to pursue further studies. But the relationship between the three of us is not an academic one turned social. We've never even worked on a paper together for starters.
Oh, so the academic paper is the nexus of the academic family. Interesting.
I would think of us more as siblings. An equal and pure relationship, unaffected by academic considerations.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, that statement is not inaccurate.
I can understand that position. I have a younger sister myself, and it's only natural for me to be protective of her. What you described fits the idea of a city of learning, as I imagine it. The family is where all social relationships intersect. As such, a family founded on common goals may actually be more stable. By the way, who's the eldest between you?
Let's not go down this rabbit hole, please.
In terms of age, I'm the eldest, of course. He just doesn't want to admit it.
But your mental age is younger than that. I dare say even by enough to be the youngest sibling. Perhaps I could bring Kale into this happy family to be your elder sister.
No. You will never see me admit to being the youngest sibling. Except perhaps as a last-ditch effort to turn the tables in a game of cards.
That's a weird one. Where's my boy Bennett? To be honest, I really would like to see how they expand on Bennett's character, to be honest. Aside from his bad luck, I wonder if they will develop on his perseverance sides rather than just bad luck. Ha ha ha, bad luck Bennett.
Guess we'll leave Kale and Sucrose to it. Fingers crossed all goes well for them. Now then, where should we go first? Let's try our luck at the bulletin board, shall we? A lot of people tend to show up there at some point in the day. Maybe we'll get lucky.
I'll race you there.
We have a bulletin board?
I won't let you down.
Oh no. It's red on OBS, so please don't do this to me. My boy.
Nice! Just as we hoped! There's a load of people here. Huh? Even Lisa's here.
Hey there, Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while. How have you been?
We've been doing pretty well.
You look surprised, cuties. Is it because of me?
Teacher is not at the usual place.
Oh, please. It's not as if I'm glued to my chair. I like to get out for a little fresh air every once in a while. Mika's here today, so I thought it'd be a good time to introduce him to Bennett and Razor. They're all out and about quite often, so it's helpful for them to get to know one another.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mika. I look forward to working with you.
No need to be so formal. We've known them for ages. They're cool.
Windblume. Fun?
Actually, we haven't gotten to the fun part yet. We've been busy investigating a prophecy.
A prophecy? What kind?
A good one or a bad one?
Gosh, that all sounds quite fascinating.
I can't believe I made it onto your list of names. You really think I'll be able to help?
Believe in yourself. Right. Believe in yourself. You're a first-rate adventurer, Bennett.
Yeah, I agree. He's not dead yet, so aside from his bad luck, he knows how to handle the situation.
Okay, then in that case, I'll step up and present my thoughts on the matter. Except I forgot I'm not really good at organizing my thoughts. Oops.
Oh, there's no need to tell us all of your thoughts right here and now. Sucrose said she'll put a mailbox next to the crafting bench, so you can just write down your thoughts when they come to you, and drop them there.
A meticulous and efficient plan. Yep, that sounds like Sucrose.
I will think also. Give me some time.
You still have other people on your list that you need to go see, right? We should leave you to it. Don't worry about us. We'll drop off our letters at the mailbox as soon as we're done.
Okay, bye for now. Let's head over to Star Snatch Cliff next. Maybe we'll be able to find some people there. And even if we don't find any familiar faces, you can see really far from up at the top. Maybe we can find people that way.
Oh, you're working so hard. Do be sure to get some rest when you can. If you get tired, you know you're always welcome to visit me for a break and a cup of tea.
I just realized Lisa's eye color. She's so purple. You don't see how contrasting her eye color is. Like they are so red and black.
Where to next? Let me check my notes. Huh, this way.
Got it. Kale, please follow me.
Oh, it's near the. Oh, I see it now. Can you fight though? I mean, oh god, what's happening? Oh, he repeats.
Where to next? Let me check my notes. Huh, this way.
Got it. Kale, please follow me. The sun is already out? Oh,
This is near the Hillshore camp, I believe. Yeah, there you go. Who's that? Eula? Noelle? Amber? And... I don't see it. Oh, Clee.
oh, it's our lucky day. There are several people over there.
Amber? Wow, and Eula's with her too.
Oh, it's Sucrose! And Klee also spies the girl with the long scarf.
Kale, we were just talking about you. Ah, right, I don't think you've been introduced to Noelle before. Kale, this is Noelle, maid of the Knights of Favonius.
Nice to meet you, Kale. I missed you the last few times you were in Mondstadt, so I'm glad to finally meet you in person.
Oh, nice to meet you too, Noelle. My name is Kale. But you already knew that.
Relax, you two. There's no need to be so courteous. We're not on some kind of diplomatic mission here.
Klee, what are you doing here? Are you planning to blast some fish?
Nope. Klee's on patrol with the other knights.
Yeah, I forgot. She's an official knight.
Huh. Now that you mention it, it looks like everyone here is a Knight of Favonius except for Kale and me.
I'd heard that there was a very young knight in the ranks, but it's still a surprise to see with my own eyes.
Kale, what do you do?
I'm a trainee forest ranger in the Avidia Forest.
Trainee?
It means I'm not officially a fully qualified forest watcher yet. I'm still learning.
Oh, you're just like me. I'm still working towards becoming a fully qualified knight. Technically, though the distinction is hardly relevant right now. This isn't a very formal patrol. We're just chatting.
Don't panic, Kale. Just pick a topic and join the conversation. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic. It's just Amber and her friends. There's no need to be nervous.
Let me guess. Were you chatting about the new guests in town?
Yep, a few folks from Sumeru have come to visit, so we're brainstorming a few nice surprises for them.
Amber!
Sorry, At least I didn't say anything about what the surprises are.
Oh no. How am I supposed to join this conversation now? What do I say to that?
Speaking of nice surprises, we've actually had a fairly big one recently.
What kind of surprise? Tell me, tell me!
I'm saved. Secros is giving me a lead-in. Now, I just need to follow on from what she's already started talking about.
What an interesting prophecy. I have no idea what the answers could be, though. So essentially, you're gathering information to help you solve the riddles, correct? I'll do my best to help.
Thank you so much, Eula.
Anytime.
There's no need to answer right away. We'll put a mailbox next to the crafting bench for people to drop us a note once they've thought of something.
I'll drop something in there for sure.
Nice idea. I think we can all commit to writing a note. We'll see what we can come up with.
Yep, don't worry. You can count on us. But we do have to finish our patrol first.
What route are you taking today?
We started in the Stormbearer Mountains, and we'll end at the city gates. You'd be very welcome to join us, but it sounds like you're pretty busy with all this.
No. There's always next time. We'll join up with you after we're done working through this prophecy.
Oh, yeah, so, we'll be on our way for now.
See you later. Have a safe trip back.
Are you okay, Kale?
Was it that obvious?
No, not at all. It just looked like you had something on your mind.
So that means it was obvious.
Whatever's bothering you, you can talk to me about it if you want. I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Sucrose. Well, the truth is, I don't really know how to act around Amber and the others.
Really? I thought you two were good friends.
We are. Amber's a really important friend to me. I don't know. I guess if I'm being completely honest, the problem's probably with me. The first time I came to Mondstadt, I was really immature. I didn't want to let people in, and I was generally pretty awful to everyone. Amber was the one person who didn't give up on me, and if it wasn't for her persistence, I wouldn't have found a friend at all. Without Amber, I might not even be here today. And because of that, I really look up to her. I think of her as my role model, and hoped that maybe one day, I could learn to be like her. But after trying and failing for several years, I think I finally realized. I'm no Amber, and I never will be. Looking back, it seems silly that I ever thought like that. We're nothing alike at all. My personality's so... weird. I always get so anxious and I overthink everything.
Aw, Kale, don't say that.
Sucrose? Would it be okay if I told you a bit about my past?
I already knew bits and pieces about her, but still, why did she have to go through all that?
I'm sorry. We've only just met and I'm already dumping all of this on you. This is why I get so frustrated at myself. I'm always doing this. I get into a spiral of self-doubt, and then I end up having to find somewhere to vent it all out.
No, it's fine. I'm really glad that you're willing to tell me all this. People don't open up about their deepest feelings unless they really trust the other person. Don't you think? At least, I think it's kind of an honor. And, I mean, you've probably noticed by now, but I don't have the best social skills either. I always just end up talking about the things I'm interested in, and going on and on. But even so, you still listen to me when I talk my head off about alchemy. It's a relief to listen to you talking about yourself for once. If you hadn't told me all of those things, I never would have guessed that you struggle so much. Honestly, I feel like we're very similar people.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. I certainly do. All the feelings that you talked about just now, I totally get it. It takes so much more effort for us introverts to fit into a crowd. When you were saying about how you try to think about what to say in advance, and you're constantly terrified of saying the wrong thing and making things awkward, I relate to that so much. Oh, and also that part about studying under a genius. In fact, before meeting you, I'd never met anyone who seemed so similar to myself. Oh. I'm not very good at giving words of comfort or anything, and I'm not gonna tell you to just get over it or stop worrying about it. How about we just sit here for a little while? We don't have to force a conversation if we can't think of anything. We can just sit here together.
Sucrose has stopped talking, but for some reason, this doesn't feel awkward at all. Maybe she's right, and we're more similar than I realized. In Sumeru, I always like to find a quiet place to just sit and watch the scenery, but it's always by myself. I never thought there'd be a day when I could do this with someone else by my side. Mondstadt's breeze is so gentle and soft.
Hey, Kale. See that cloud over there? Doesn't it look like one of my test tubes?
I don't think so. Sorry.
Then maybe we're not quite on the same wavelength on everything. At least, not when it comes to looking at clouds in the sky.
Thank you, Sucrose. I feel much better after talking to you.
Yeah, it helps a lot, doesn't it? I also vent to my flasks sometimes. The next time I get the chance, I have to show you my Tetratanic Sweet Flower and my Tetratanic Windblume.
Your Tetra... what?
2 of my favorite things I've made. They're really cool. I think you might like them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll definitely have to show them to me sometime.
I brought some crackers with me. You want one? There's cheese flavor or tomato flavor.
Sure. I'll try the cheese one.
Aw, look! They're enjoying the scenery together.
Shall we go play with them? No, it's fine. Let them sit for a while.
We're not what Kale needs right now. She needs a new friend. Someone different who's never met her before.
I don't get it. Is there a difference?
There is. You'll understand once you're a little older, Klee. People can draw different kinds of strength from different kinds of friends. And right now, Kale needs someone that's just not the same old me.
I can understand her struggle. She basically skipped some part of her important childhood, so I think her not developing that aspect of herself kind of affects her and how she view things growing up, I guess. Oh god. That's why she's so hard on herself, because she's personally different from Amber, but she also wants to be like Amber, so she kind of skipped the important part of... Are you kidding, Paula? You damn it. You dumbass. Yeah, Paula, I'll save you. Cecilia. I understand it, kind of.
Animo test 6308. Stand clear. Go!
Bet you can't keep up with me!
Animo test 6308. Ta! Ta!
Get him!
Blitz.
This is like early game.
test. Stand clear.
In 10 minutes, Pala, I'll save you. Oh god.
Absorption test.
I was worried Ember might get one shot or something. I need to pee, so give me like 5 minutes. We did Shenhe, right? So it's Ayaka time. Be right back.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
I'm back.
Snatch Cliff! We made it! Paimon hopes we find someone we need here.
Help! Oh, I beg you, please don't let go!
Who's that yelling? Let's hurry and take a look. Timaeus? And we also have Rosaria and Mona? What kind of mishmash ensemble is this?
Good question. What kind of a motley crew is this?
It's been a while, Traveler.
You two are looking pretty good. I trust you've been well.
Yep, we're definitely faring a lot better than this poor guy on the ground.
Hey, please don't rub salt in my wound. I really have been trying my best.
Oh, you're one to talk. If this sister hadn't grabbed you in time, then you'd have been seriously hurt, if not dead.
I know. I really am grateful, miss. I can't thank you enough.
Don't mention it. Just lending a hand.
Quite literally. And had she not lent him a hand and pulled him up, he would have gone tumbling down the cliffside.
What happened? Did Timaeus almost fall off the cliff?
Well, so what actually happened was I came to Star Snatch Cliff today to pick some flowers and ran into Mona on the way. She took a look at her scry glass and advised me to turn back because it would be dangerous.
But you still came up here anyway?
Well, yes, I did, because there's something I just had to do.
Oh, I hardly think giving flowers to your crush is worth throwing one's life away for.
It's rare to run into someone with a death wish in this area.
I don't have a death wish. I just didn't think it would really come true. I mean, when Mona said it would be dangerous, I thought I'd be fine as long as I watched my step cautiously. I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. I'm telling you, I'm just here chasing the love of my life. Love-struck Mondstadters is what the Windblume Festival's all about.
Okay, that explains you. But why is Rosaria here?
I was looking for a quiet place to escape the crowds. I wasn't planning on having to save a life along the way.
So that's why the Scryglass just showed danger instead of fatal danger.
Very funny. Anyway, Traveler and Paimon, what brings the two of you to Star Snatch Cliff?
Just trying our luck. We've got a lot of people we need to see today, so we've been all over the place. Actually, you're some of the people we were looking for.
Huh?
I see. So all we'll need to do is find some clues, make a note, and drop it off at the mailbox?
I can't believe there's a prophecy like this, let alone that I have a part to play in it. Oh, I guess this means everyone will find out about my crush now. I came here because I wanted to give some Cecilias to the girl I love. They'll really suit her. She's...
No one asked. Please, do not subject us to your gushing about your girlfriend.
You saw right through me.
You said you need clues, right? Well, in that case, Mona Magistus the astrologist will provide you with a personally handwritten letter. Just wait for it to show up in your mailbox.
You can be on your way now. We won't keep you any longer.
All right, then let's head back for now and meet up with everyone else.
Will do. This is all so embarrassing. Thank you both.
I'm so stupid. I thought Rosaria was trying to kill her, to kill Timaeus. Because she was working. Black Hound Mercenary. Yeah, he's underutilized. Oh, that's got a son or daughter, Marvin. Ah. I know they were always here. I know that, but did not expect it. Yeah, let's do that. College journey towards to Tehran. They don't keep the drawing, unfortunately. I thought they would keep it, you know. Because I read a lore, I guess, lore speculation. Because right now people are, I guess, questioning the before the start of the game and the start of the game, like what happened first? What happened when we are dealing with the Heavenly Principle? Who wake up first? Blah blah blah. We are missing information, I guess. We also don't know when does our sibling start their journey. Do they wake up earlier? Blah blah blah. How long do we sleep? So right now everything is a mess. At least not a mess. Like we don't know. Everything is a bit cloudy again. Oh yeah, I run here. Right? I guess we have to wait, what, 2-3 years for the next low drop about the Abyss. Because right now the story is about the Abyss sometimes, and Kanria, not Kanria. The story is about the Abyss sometimes, and most of the time it's about the involvement of the Fatui. I guess they will intersect in the future. I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna walk there, just, you know, to have fun. I remember there's a chest here when we started playing, down there. I mean, it's not bad. There's a slime that I fight most of the time.
Animal test 6308.
Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
Yeah, my character's naked, I think. And I kind of want to run Sucrose with. Okay, that's the stone where Venti and I believe that's the stone where Venti hang out with your boy Travalin. Oh, that's the stone, not this one. This is it. Then Valingia roar and then fly away. If I want to make a speculation, I'm not a lore theory crafter or whatever. The voice that we heard, the hanging stuff in the cave where Caribert goes to, the voice that we heard, probably the Archon for the Abyss. Or at least someone to that extent. Or maybe someone from the Celestia equivalent, but from the for the Abyss. That's the easiest explanation. Oh, they keep marking it. Yeah, that's the default icon. If you if your game is still rendering for every spot in the game. Okay, I'll wait. I guess because they have to render the dandelion. Oh, right.
Did you hear what happened? It's the academia.
We're back! Oh, but it looks like you two beat us.
Welcome back. Did everything go well?
Yep, we managed to find and talk to everybody.
We got back a little early, so we took some time just now to put the mailbox together. We got really lucky today. The vendors were feeling super generous, so we didn't even need to pay for the materials. It's just a shame that Kale got a splinter.
Don't worry about me. I'm used to working in the rainforest. I get splinters all the time. I've already taken care of it.
We've already wrapped up everything on our to-do list for today. So, all we need to do now is wait for everyone's letters to arrive. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you get some rest while I keep an eye on the mailbox?
You're definitely your master's student, Sucrose. As long as you or Albedo are around, Paimon can relax and know that everything's taken care of.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Wait. Actually, there's one thing that still needs taking care of. Paimon's starving. Hey, Traveler, you wanna get dinner? Your treat.
I'll go with Sucrose to return the leftover materials to the vendors. You two, go get a proper meal. We can't have anyone going hungry.
Yeah, now would be a good time for a break. Once everything is ready, let's meet up here again and collate all the information we've gathered.
Sounds like a plan.
That's a regular NPC, right?
Paimon will have this one, and this one, ooh, and this one. Hey, Paimon's really hungry! And don't forget, Paimon's also ordering for you, too. It's not like Paimon's gonna eat everything by herself. Ooh, Paimon is super full.
Is everything packed up and ready? What do you think about meeting up at 5 to go to my house?
Yes,
Everything's ready. I've packed some great wine and smoked ham. Oh, your parents will love it.
Ham? Look, we've known each other for quite some time now. Don't you think it's been long enough for you to remember that we only eat bacon in my house?
I must remember to get some milk today on my way home. Please, feel free to pay a visit to Cat's Tail anytime.
Enjoying the scenery?
Oh, Tone Deaf Bard! Are you here for some food as well?
Oh, I can put something on your tab? Well, that's a pity. I already had a few drinks before coming here. I shall take you up on your kind offer another day. There should be no shortage of opportunities in the future. Anywho, you should be getting ready to thank me. I come bearing good news.
What kind of good news?
Behold!
What is it?
It's what you need the most right now. The answer to the prophetic puzzle. Simply head to the location marked on the map and you'll find the lantern you've been looking for. However, if I were you, I wouldn't just go and reveal the secret right away. As you've seen, a lot of people have been laboring hard to uncover the answer. A secret is like a well-aged brew. The aroma from the bottle is sweetest when revealed in the company of friends. Then it's settled. I'll leave you to your business for now. Feel free to find me for a chat again once you're done working through the prophecy. Also, if you have some time, we could organize another fast-track love poem class.
Oh, you're starting that up again?
I sure am. Nobody else has signed up this year, though, so the duty to learn falls on you. Anyway, see you later.
Venti always looks so relaxed whenever we run into him. Paimon can't help but be jealous.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, could I chat with you for a moment?
Oh? Who are you?
You may call me Scarlet. Just like you, I'm a traveler visiting Mondstadt from another land. Mind if I buy you a drink? Leaving the door open for another time, I see. I can tell that you've dealt with a lot of people during your travels.
You can tell? Well, we are very experienced adventurers after all.
I can. That's why I tried to strike up a conversation with you in the first place. I was on my way to go shopping earlier when I overheard your conversation next to the crafting bench. From what I could gather, you are trying to investigate a bizarre prophecy?
Yep, bizarre is definitely the word.
Don't you think it sounds just like the kind of story that would happen in Mondstadt? Anyway, that's why I wanted to ask you a favor. If and when you manage to unravel the answer to the prophecy, could you let me know what it is? Not so much the prophecy itself, but Mondstadt as a nation. That's what I'm interested in. I was born in a distant land, but I have family and friends who once lived in Mondstadt for a long time. They said that it's a great place full of fairy tales and romance and recommended that I come for a visit. As it happens, someone I know has an anniversary coming up soon. So I figured this would be a good time to come here and see all the sights that she once saw.
What do you think about Mondstadt so far?
It certainly lives up to its name as the city of romance and freedom.
We think so too.
So, about the prophecy. Thank you. You're very friendly. It's been a real pleasure to meet you. I'll leave it to you then. I hope you continue to enjoy the city and have a wonderful day.
She definitely isn't dressed like a local, huh? Where do you think her hometown could be?
Russia.
Please find me a flower that is not of this world, and a guide who will never get lost. Find me one who would never lie, as well as a legend that never ends. Huh? I never thought I'd have someone secretly following me, even in a free city like Mondstadt. Good day to you, miss.
Let's check the map, shall we? Scarlet. I think every cookie. Facial is a bit slower, I guess. Sorry. I'll hide Tom as a driver. Cookie will be the one that triggers the aggravate spread thing.
What shall we do?
There's a mail. Oh, happy birthday, Yao Yao. I need to go to the... Yeah, let's check the Reddit. Usually people like to run around in the overworld. I wanna read. I know that Sino is at the library.
There are leaves around.
Check day
and I know
2.
just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Give me a sec.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Where is it?
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Sino and Lisa at Favonius Library.
The scenery is wonderful.
And
surely
that's
enough
it.
to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Okay. Only Sino Dea. Sorry, Sino and Lisa. There we know. I thought it was Madame Faruzan. Where the hell is the library at the HQ, right? I forgot. Because we only have the church as the other main building. Yeah, okay, cool. Faruzan, we have what, 5? 5 ending? Oh god, that'll take a while. 2-3 hours depending on how long the dialogue is. I don't try to skip dialogue. I think I'll check the answer. I don't want to repeat just because I can. You need the correct dialogue to trigger, right? That's it. It's the Grandmaster room. Is this clear room? No, you cannot enter here. This is the library. So the unguarded ones are the room you can enter. This is the other room for the library.
Why, if it isn't my underclassman Sino. What a pleasant surprise it is to see you in Mondstadt during the Windblume Festival.
Greetings, Lisa. Though I'm sure you've been aware of my presence in Mondstadt for some time already.
Oh dear, looks like you've seen right through me. But I was in no hurry. I knew we'd see each other sooner or later.
Yes. It's just as Professor Cyrus said. Shared aspirations always have a way of bringing people into each other's orbit.
He always has such a poetic way of wording things. I suppose that's the one respect in which I've taken after him. While in your case, yes, it's his wit and eccentricities that have left their mark on you.
I'm not sure that describes me very aptly these days, given that I'm now the General Mahamatra. Still, if we're going to talk about ways with words, I think my deadpan humor is far superior than our professor's.
Is that so? Strange. I heard that you're just Sino the Adventurer when you're in Mondstadt.
You make a good point.
What do you think of Mondstadt during this time of year? It's quite nice, isn't it?
Yes, it's very nice. I think I'm starting to understand your reasons for leaving the academia.
I've always prided myself on making wise decisions, and that was certainly one of them.
If our professor had been as sensible as you, he would have had a much easier time in his working life. Being stubborn doesn't help anybody.
Well, if even you feel comfortable criticizing him now that he's retired, it really goes to show how much he's changed. Stubbornness is an all-too-common vice among scholars. I hope that never rubs off on you. I'm always happy to see you visit Mondstadt and experience the feeling of freedom for yourself. I heard the latest news about Kale, too. No doubt the traumas of her childhood will persist for a while to come. But I have to say, she appears to be doing quite better this time than on previous visits. I suppose you're something of a mentor to her, aren't you? Now that I think about it, the two of you aren't so dissimilar. The power of Hermanubis once brought you great suffering.
That's all in the past now. Besides, Professor thankfully didn't treat me like a test subject for the priestess power like the higher-ups had hoped, even though I was a desert dweller.
Does that explain why he got his verse?
Instead, he gave me the tools I needed to lead the life I have today. He adopted me, educated me, taught me how to fit into society. I am very grateful to him.
You are very gifted, and sometimes that can become its own curse. But he has reason to be grateful to you too. Without you as his son/student, he may have never changed his stubborn ways. As a fellow student of his, I couldn't be happier for the two of you. Well, look at how quickly this developed from small talk to a deep and serious conversation. That's one thing I do miss about my academia days.
By virtue of being another of his students, you were as much a part of Professor's family as I. It's perfectly natural for a daughter to inherit her father's conversation style.
If you say so. I suppose that means I get to call you baby brother from now on.
I'd rather you didn't.
Yes, there's the baby brother I remember.
Okay, that's it. Anyone else not here, I believe. Yeah. No, that's where you hang out. I heard that when you talk to Kama and Sumida, they will disappear. Wait, no. I talked to them. I remember talking to them in Mondstadt. Yeah, they are usually, I don't remember, it's Inazuma first and then Leeway in front of the Adventurers Guild, I believe, and then now in Mondstadt Library they were running around, you know, after what happened in Surumi Island, right? They're running around traveling, I guess. Okay, let's start Madame Faruzan. Every 2 days, don't forget to claim your keys. That's all I can say. So you can get your 3 keys back after like a week. Portos. Isuma. Confounding conundrum. Mysterious Senior, hardest the eye. +1 days. Damn it. You can see Ying Er. Okay. Oh god damn it. My cat. Give me a sec. sauce. I was making cat milk. I was making milk for my cat. Sumer. Paradise DI. I forgot where Paradise DI is. Down there. Sauce. Mary, sit down. Okay. Cool. What? Oh, Paddy Sarah, there you go. Forgot. Usually I pick up some stuff here.
Even though most of the Academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
Oh! Hey there!
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the Academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task. It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives. You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher. Let's just say that a huge part of Ksharowar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the Academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit... strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I'll try.
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up. I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble. Anyway, can you go with Kale to the Academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go!
That's good, dude.
Oh, yes. And one more thing. You might find her difficult to get along with at first. However, if you address her as Madam, she'll become much easier to talk to.
No, I didn't. I thought it was a meme. Okay. Let's call it Buddy Sarah first, because who doesn't like free stuff, right? I kind of remember some of the spot. Hey, your boy. Karkata. What's up, buddy? It's been a while. Chemia, we have Kimia. It's the same thing. It's chemistry in Arabic, I believe, or alchemy in Arabic, something along those lines. I'm not Arab, so I cannot say. Only 4, huh? I thought it was 6. And then from Isami Aldini. Shaheen. No, it's not here, right? Yeah, it's here. There should be like there. Hazam. And then down there, I believe. Whatever, it's fine. So let's say part is the you walk through here. And there's a bridge. Walk through here. Or make your way to the shore towards Vimara village, cross the bridge, and then go to, okay, it's not that far. Palace of Alcazar, same thing. You need, oh, it's from Gandharva building. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry. We have 5 endings, so the plan is to get all achievement and all endings. I'm using a guide, so sue me, I guess. We don't know the canonity of Hangout event, right? Like, it's a good way to elaborate and expand the character lore, but canonity, weird.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Ah, yes. And did you forget to add Madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students, even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam Faruzan, please let me finish.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
Shh!
She hates it when people call her young. Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago. Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Kasharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madam Faruzan? Are you listening?
Mm-hmm. Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the academia? Are you feeling better now?
I'm much better, Madam Faruzan.
It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon.
Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again?
No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault.
It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you.
There's really no need.
Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary Traveler? Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Kali's illness is...
Madam Faruzan, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day. Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Paradise DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharvaville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the Academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache. Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can help him with. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons. Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary. Okay then. I'm counting on you.
So funny.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that he can stay and help you.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you? Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches languages and runes. 100 years ago, Madame Faruzan was a researcher from that darshan.
Now, not was. Still am.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really... understand her direction of research. So even if she opened a course, chances are that no one would attend.
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carvings and unearthed documents. It'll include research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan because they don't understand much about mechanisms. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Ksharawar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient documents.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might imagine. I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. They also gave more respect to unknown mechanisms. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them. Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects her elders.
Huh? Why me?
If only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to Gandharvaville anymore, right?
I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need to head back and find Master.
Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale?
Huh? Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
No, he's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance precisely because they ignored the public. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about learning, but cannot study due to various reasons. The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a pilot, perhaps this shall come to benefit many more people in the future.
I'll need to go back and ask if this is in accordance with regulations.
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to be had, we shall sweep them aside together. Traveler, Kale, do wait for us a little while outside the academia. I'll be back in just a moment.
Wait! Let's catch up with her.
We'll see about that.
I can't believe she rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong. Oh, how did things turn out like this? No, not really. Madame Faruzan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me how to read, it'll definitely be much better than me bashing my head against the wall. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that. Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student? It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed during the 100 years that Faruzan was gone. I don't really get it. But it does seem like Haravatat's students aren't optimistic about the prospects of doing research with her. Students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements generally enroll in Ksharawar and Spontamod. Madame Faruzan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student she likes. But she seems to like my attitude toward learning, so she often asks me if I'm willing to become her student. It's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty. It's not that. Madame Faruzan respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and each time she says that Master can't find out. Now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that. Do I really look that young?
Kale, Traveler, thank you for waiting. The issue has been resolved. I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of educating the general public. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
She just said, okay, I am 100 years old. Shut up.
Amazing.
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. It's been a century, but the academia is as picky as ever. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods, course materials. I suppose we can fill in the course name last. That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but rather people who already know the basics of reading. As such, we'll need a more specific learning objective. How about proficiency in reading and writing?
That's true. If we use children's teaching materials, we'll only end up wasting a lot of time on things that students would already know.
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. That's why I often ask him to help me find simple books to read.
It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Tainari really went the extra mile for you. Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time to conduct this course. So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays. Would The Legend of Antara be too old of a story?
That's the first one, option-wise. We got the teaching method sorted out.
Fair. Kale, what have you been reading lately?
Me? I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, some people set up stalls at Treasure Street to sell light novels. I've been meaning to go there and check it out.
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Wait for us, Madame Faruzan! You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
What a long and mildly ungrammatical title. And why is the cover so colorful?
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular of books nowadays. Would you like me to recommend something?
Fine. One shouldn't judge a book by its cover after all. May we browse through the books here?
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai.
Hey, that's my book.
I heard that this book's author describes action in vivid detail.
Now I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels like it's all fight scenes. There are only subjects and predicates, and the syntax is a tad simple.
Subjects? Predicates?
The protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
How about... the good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat Sunsetias to become stronger.
A reincarnation isekai story? Those are pretty popular right now.
Isekai? What in the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating Sunsetias?
I can't understand her way of thinking.
Tropes? Those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect.
She's not like Karen, she's just logical, I guess. The one that, you know, rarely have fun. Very logical, but very passionate about their work. Yeah. Oh god, it's so funny so far.
Sorry. What is this distancing effect?
However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really accept this?
How about this? I had to fight tooth and nail to get this in stock.
Oh, that's the latest volume of Onibudo!
Now that's a rather normal title length. Oh, Kale, do you like this series?
Yes, but I don't like it that much. Madam, are you going to use this series as teaching material?
Let me see. The dialogue flows quite well, but there are too many phrases here that I don't recognize. Third eye of perception, illusory mirror, and so on. Are these terms that are tied to tropes?
I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them.
It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, their morphological properties are quite pedestrian, really. Or did the protagonists purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes? So there's no deeper purpose. It's quite hard to understand stories written these days.
He's also a boomer.
You're right. It's such a weird book. But you keep wanting to read the next page.
Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today. Yes, a Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching folk legends. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular now.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Tales of Shariar? I don't think I've heard of that before. When was it published?
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
The Legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
What? Is that because of the academia's strict control over books in recent years? I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street mention that name before. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this? Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers.
Madam, wait! Oh no, this is bad. You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Faruzan, right? It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient text as teaching material? Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up to her!
She's so worried. Treasure Street down there. Here or not here, so down here then. Oh shit.
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar!
Wow, you actually found it!
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of Classical Texts. After all, this book is definitely worthy of being called a classic.
Can I take a look? Luckily the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize a few words here and there. Huh? But why aren't there pictures in this book?
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book. I know it. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. And who obtained the desert gem in the end? Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
I don't think so.
Is that so? Oh. And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind, I'll keep searching for the later volumes myself. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the first 4 volumes? Why aren't they all together?
I don't have those either. Actually, this is the only volume I have.
Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
No demand? Impossible. Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a single stroll at the academia.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially. Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen into such a state.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed and left.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, he should have been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first. Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the Desert Gem at all? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new names and terms? Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way. It's Mada from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of Antara. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, Tales of, whatever it's called.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Madame Faruzan?
Huh? Oh, yes. Let's go.
Anyway, is there anything else here that's caught your eye? As long as the price is reasonable, I can give you this book as a bonus.
Another day, another empty room.
Excuse me? But are you Mada?
Yes. Are you here to listen to my story?
Well, we actually came to ask about something else.
I see.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly unpopular storyteller help you?
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can barely remember the last time anyone talked about it. My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than the Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his master's master's master. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked the series. He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeru who hadn't read his books.
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes change completely. Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept trying to extend the story. To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shahryar in the end?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
By that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shahryar. Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work possibly have been that popular? The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft of Legend of Antara. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those theses. My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge crowd. But even he won't recite Tales of Shahryar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
Only time? Madame Faruzan? It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them. No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
Huh. That is true. Readers' interests and trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shahryar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't use Tales of Shahryar now. No, it's much too old. Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall, yes?
Yes, but I don't really...
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read. As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this. My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale. But if I wish to use it as teaching material, I have to read it first.
Huh?
Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from the reader's messages at the back of the book. Such things as, even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow.
Oh no!
Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century. If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world, etc. But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Mata? You know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Huh? Why so suddenly?
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies. Now, let me tell you all about the ancient hero, Antara.
What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam, Faruzan. Then I'll see if I can pick that up.
Okay, let's continue. It's interesting, that's all I can say. I like that, to be honest. So the next one is the second ending. Okay. Let's go.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush.
I'll
and I
speedrun.
know that he's been busy working on some. I feel for Madam, but if I get her in trouble with the. Yeah, that would be the. But I'm sure he'll say the best. Huh? Oh yes. So if I also stay and help. That okay then. I have. We're back, Madam Faruzan. The traveler said that.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Harab? I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge.
Yeah.
Besides, the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts. The representative of Kisharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan. In truth, she told me that it's because she respects you a lot.
Oh, respect? Oh, my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Kusharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
Since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity and learning in children.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
Madame Faruzan, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port Ormos. If you want more details, you can find her there.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii. Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
Archon be praised! I can finally send a report to my superiors. Thank you so much. I have no idea how we might have persuaded her otherwise.
Where Port Ormos? You have to go to this route then. Ah, no, hold on.
Dare to mess with me?
Madame Faruzan! Oh, it's really you. Did you change your mind?
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Kasharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you are here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to Akara Crafts owner first, if you please.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Yeah, the Dragon Spine glider complements her skirt, I think.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're, Madame Faruzan?
Yes, That's me.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anis thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those, yes. Please, help yourself. Oh, you're done already?
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Okay, then.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
I think Faruzan will like the TCG, I think.
Done! It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total. Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler.
However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out. Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
This is the answer.
Oh, color me impressed. You figured it out so quickly. Let's see how well they do then.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
This got a lot harder.
I solved it! Madam Faruzan, it takes 127 steps in total.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy.
So the formula is 2n plus 1. Okay.
The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
Design-wise, that's a good learning toy, technically. You started easy and people, oh, that's so easy, and then harder level is just, yeah, mind-blowing.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course! I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making. You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk back with you.
Is Madame Faruzan really going? I'm sure she'll say, helping.
No wonder she's so well respected. Don't let her know I said.
We need to wait too.
It might just be all reference stuff.
Guess all we can do is...
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardis DI as quickly as I can. Anise, we haven't had much time to get to know each other, but she seems like a good kid. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being influenced by others. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really depend on her. Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms. I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stays in Kasharawar. My research into mechanisms is, in a sense, a side effect of my research into ancient texts. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run. However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, that would change things. If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have one less reason to cut my budget. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations. You're right.
Explanations are a core part of early developments, too. By using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effectively. It would also make it easier for me to recruit students. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
You kidding me? 1, 2.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it this time. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were used in various ruins. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
I don't understand any of it at all.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous to buy for children.
Oh.
Oh, so that's the Grandmaster for the Sumerus Adventurers Guild. Cyrus model. We have Cyrus, that dude in front of the Inazuma. The way we have Lan. Huh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're interested in the mechanisms Madame Faruzan's talked about, you're more than welcome to try them out.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, too, was only following my instructions. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me some time. I'll write another reference book.
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Yes. Who are you?
Ah, you're that man mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for us, or did something happen?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper prototypes and sell them to us as well?
What does the Adventurers Guild want with these toys?
I mean, they are exploring the ruins, right?
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines and contraptions within ancient ruins, this booklet is a true treasure. We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes? If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, even the most illiterate person would be able to follow along and understand. If we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries a booklet with them, then ruin exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yes. I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed, one way or another.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild? To be honest, that sounds like a good avenue to explore to me.
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be an issue. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the academia is actually trying to address as well.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. The amount we're offering to pay in advance is this much.
Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. I guess the next one is you have to repeat the second ending. There should be another alternate ending, yeah, here. Basically, you ended with, the first one you ended with the Adventurer's Guild, the second one you should end with the kid, I believe. Just different reply, so I'll be speedrunning it. That's cute.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you want to ask why I'm putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves. I actually have no issue with their research methodologies and approach. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown in their respective fields of expertise. No matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on, it's a step forward for us all, because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle. Even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future. In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful to Kasharawar. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials I need for my research here. Still, the funding that Kasharawar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anis's help.
Simple and fun, the other one.
You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
Four days went by so fast. Damn. Head to the conference. It's just up here. I wish we could have a character that can fly, to be honest.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we
My masterpiece is going to be...
And if we activate this little mechanism just like that, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air! It's amazing!
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a mechanism.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's development...
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
But we want to play too!
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also welcomed.
Oh, my origami bird flew further this time.
Professor Faruzan, how can I make mine fly further?
Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me Professor. You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example. All right, try it again.
Wow, it really did fly farther!
Madam Faruzan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, was it 7? Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Well, in this case, it wouldn't be Haravatat.
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children? How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms. See? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
Huh. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Now, do you want to learn about some other machines? Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and elemental monuments.
Okay, that's a puzzle. Nice. We have 2 more, I believe. We need... Yeah, 2 more. What's that? Academic problem. Let me check. When do I have to start? Oh, we need to... This one will go straight to Party's DI. I heard my cat yelling. Oh my god. Be right back. Why? Stop yelling. God damn it. Give me like a sec. Let's go. I don't know why my cat's screaming at night, damn it. Two more. So for this part we will not talk about the academia stuff, we'll just go to Party CI, I guess. I guess Ignati wants to ask about Karkata, I think. Knowing who she is. Speedrun.
What now? Master said there's no rush. I feel for Madame but if I get her in trouble with the But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make Faruzan's situation more awkward? And if the academia investigated and found her at Party's DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the academia's toes? Okay then. I'm counting on you. Huh. I have to teach Madame Faruzan, we're back! Well, since you're asking me so—
Please, Madame Faruzan, focus! Today's the deadline. Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right! Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research,
a fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done. Phew. I think she bought it. Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madame Faruzan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the academia asks for any details...
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to them?
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
It's behind the bridge that you can see while gliding. Oh my god, I'm so far.
don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
Onto others? What does that mean?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
Oke, coba kata then. You know, maybe it's just my eyes. This place, whenever I arrive to Paradise Eye, hue and the lighting makes me think, is this a withering zone? Maybe I am overthinking it, but yeah, sorry about that.
A monster? Why is there a monster here?
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Karkata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look.
Is Karkata sick?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further. But, Madame Faruzan, you should be able to find a way to repair it.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
Karkata.
Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Faruzan.
Who knew that I'd encounter a mechanical life form in this manner after 100 years?
I didn't know mechanical life forms could get sick too. You have to get better soon, Karkata.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her. Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you. I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description. Her exact words were,
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
she doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago. And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew, and everyone who knew her, was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations. Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
Ah, that's why we were invited.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins. The creators of the ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be.
Makes sense.
Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? Well, that is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else. Wait, don't tell me.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
Bait and switch.
A fully automated irrigation system. That's quite the task.
Master, can I help with anything at all? I can go buy things, prepare pen and paper.
Oh, you know, I seem to remember that you have a lot of homework today.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I do.
Well, hurry up and finish it so you can sleep early, or Faruzan will worry. That's the best thing you can do now to help.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they ever made domain for a 4-star hangout. We fight with some characters, but no domains, I believe. We fight with Noel, Bennett, Hazel, I believe. Whatever.
Hey, how did we circle back here again? What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you've visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
Halt! Mr. Raid.
That machine looks amazing! Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend actually be true?
The ruins? Don't know anything. We were only hired to deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close to the camp where they're staying.
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms, but it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such a thing even humanly possible?
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you? Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage did seem a bit weird. It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps we should ask the villager from before about the legend first.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since faded into memory. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeological expedition. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Really? That ruin wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow. There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit simple, yes, but I hope you won't mind.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that. This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. I only caught a quick glimpse, and it was from a distance. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago. Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, assuming that it really is the Ruin Wanderer, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades? That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Karkata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here. Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly. Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Karkata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant.
That's my girl.
Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the manpower expenditure. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you? All right. I'm counting on you.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way.
I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what it takes.
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here? It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here. The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol. Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people precisely because I was worried about that happening. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that you've traversed through the desert to come here in the middle of the night? Also, where's Faruzan? Why isn't she with you?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back. Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we've already done that. We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
Sorry for this.
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having already been triggered. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage in the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins about a dozen years ago. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach the same conclusion I did. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer... It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse. Just a bit more. I see now.
Help! Please help!
Why are you running away? Come back! Protect me!
What's that sound? Is it? The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. I'll cover them. You go stall the Ruin Wanderer. What? It ignored the Traveler?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate? And to give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up there and tell me what's going on.
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings. Why is everyone I hired so useless? Move! I'll do it myself. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much weaker than it looks. How disappointing.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Faruzan, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize that thing.
January 3rd, excavated 5 tents. January 5th, 3 tents sold. January 10th, 1 special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer in the black market, yes? And then we arrived just before you could finish your work. That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruin Wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey, we're leaving.
Mr. Aid!
Behind you? Why is it moving again? Run!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time? Long time no see to Mimi.
That's unexpected. One. Oh. Oh, so her student, I assume, continue her research. Or her... Ah. I see.
Dear Faruzan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you live still in some corner of this world. You've always been persistent. able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving and finding your way home. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Others keep telling me to stop exploring ruins. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi, so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
Welcome home, Faruzan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years. Thank you for waiting for me all this time. I've safely received the letters. Your work is done now. You can sleep. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me, take notes for me, and send my letters home. When I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I once thought that I'd never get to see it again. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. One decade of wandering became many, and soon, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer, all so it could deliver these last letters from them to me. The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart, right? Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Now, it can finally rest in peace. Tainari told you what happened to me, right? You don't have to apologize. It's not like this incident is a secret in the academia. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat conflicted. Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer. Just a bit.
That's a lot more interesting than I thought, to be honest. So Tamimi, I guess, use it as a Gundam, using the Aeon Blight Drake as a Gundam, I guess. Ah, naruhodo. Because as she mentioned before, Tamimi using any parts that it can get to self-repair and keep searching for Faruzan. So I guess they found the body on the way, along the way, I guess. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Love it. That's the best ending so far.
100 years have passed, yet there hasn't been any change to those dumb rules at the academia.
That's a great way to elaborate or touch the character's past. I know it's a hangout, but damn. It's simple, it's like one part of the hangout, but yeah, I like it.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame Faruzan?
Oh no. She finally got to reunite with an old friend from 100 years ago. But
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as a friend, a student, and a daughter, we should give her some time. Let's just wait for her here. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support her as her new friends.
One day is kind of vague. Because if it's like 1 a.m., you wait until 6 a.m., it doesn't count. That's one day. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I'm back! What? Is there to be no welcoming party?
We've all been waiting for you, Madame Faruzan.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape. Huh? Why do you all look so solemn? Come now. Liveliness befits youngsters more. Madame Faruzan, did these parts come from... Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. This isn't something you have to worry about. Well, it looks like you already know everything. But no need to feel bad. Like I said before, as researchers, we must learn to accept our failures. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. It would thus be much better to use them to extend Karkata's lifespan. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. That holds true for both researchers and machines. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my research. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right, I'll do my best to help.
Me too. Although, I'm not sure if I'll be much help. Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no reason why we won't be able to do even better. And when that day comes, I'll be sure to say, welcome home, Tamimi.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, last ending. Keep Tamimi a secret. Okay, okay. Let's stay outside before we trigger it. So reading the letter and knowing the 127 steps are part of the achievement. So you need it to get the Primo Gem, I guess.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert? So Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle. All right. And to think that Raid was doing all of those things on the sly. It's good that you all got out of that situation in one piece.
Madame Faruzan will be able to repair Karkata when she gets back, won't she? I'm back! What, Madame Faruzan? That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization? Unbelievable. Thankfully, it didn't end up in Raid's unscrupulous hands.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? Thank you. We will talk about everything else later. It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to bother us, I'd wager. I'll start repairing Karkata then. Kale, can you help me out? Of course! It looks fine, but...
Faruzan went out after repair. Well, I will not.
Ah, you're here. Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? Even if we could convince them to accept the components, they'll probably still feel bad about it. I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people. It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their faces are getting hazier in my memories. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. That's more than enough. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother would have wanted to see me like that. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardees DI looks pretty scenic at night. Will you take a stroll with me? Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and Kale about all that. But for now, just help me keep this secret. Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I have people who worry about me. I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then. Yeah, I'm home.
Done. Feel great. Is it 3 or 4? 3. So optimal solution is 127 steps. If you read all of the letter, I think it's really hard to miss. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, it's a good lore dump, I guess. It's a good lore dump. I see. We fight with Bennett. I don't remember fighting with Chongyan. Noel. Sayu, I cannot remember. Beidou, yes. Yunjin, yes. Ningguang, I don't think so. Cookie, not really. Hazel, I don't. Hazel, yeah, I think. Done. Yeah, it's Monday, so server will reset in like what, half an hour. So I guess, yeah. See you in like 3 hours maybe. I'll get my breakfast and whatnot, and then I'll finish the weeklies, I guess, and then I'll do Star Rail. Oh, sorry. Yeah, maybe I don't know if I want to do TCG. I mean, TCG should be easy. It took me about an hour or so. Basically clear my weeklies. Anyways, see you in a bit. In like 4 or 5 hours. Ciao. Bye.